here's the interesting story. We did UFC, what was it, 10? We did it in Detroit, right? Mm-hmm. And we said, we did the Cobo Arena was a sellout. And Thursday, Bob Meyerowitz and John McCarthy are standing in front of a judge who says, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let this event be held in Detroit, but you have to promise me there'll be no closed fist punching on the event.
Okay.
So Bob goes over and gets a hold of me, Mike, and he says to me, it's your job to tell the fighters that they can't do that. So during the fighters meeting, McCarthy steps up there and he says, Art wants to talk to you. I was the UFC commissioner. Art wants to tell you guys something. I said, tonight, if you guys punch with a closed fist, I'm going to fine you $100 for each punch you throw. And then I kind of went like this. Had my hat and went like this. And McCarthy's winking at them. McCarthy's standing behind me, who's 6'4", and he's winking at them. So the fighters knew that Art says he's going to find us. Remember that Mark Schultz, the wrestler, gets in with Gary Goodrich, and he throws 41 unanswered closed fist punches to Gary Goodrich in beating him. Monday morning, the judge issues a bench warrant for my arrest.
Oh, and so this is true.
Back to Michigan for 17 years.
Wait, wow. Art, you're kind of breaking up. You're breaking up. So the judge issues a warrant for your arrest. In one more time?
Monday morning, the judge issues a bench warrant for my arrest. USA Today says promoter flees to California. They're still looking for him in Michigan because I didn't collect the fines. And the guys punched that night. The guys punched in the arena.
All right. So I'm just going to be very direct with you. When we do these interviews, and we do really long form interviews, and we usually we get a good little rhythm, and then I look through a fighter's record, and I always find a sore spot, and I go, "Hey, Chris, when I hit this one, dude, it's going to be a shoot interview."
Where's my sore spot, Mike?
This guy's going to lose his shit.
Where's my sore spot, Mike? This
was it. So UFC 9, in essence, I've heard that story nonstop, and Art, I believe you. So let me just clear the air right now. I believe you're telling me the truth.
UFC
but
9,
when I hear Dan Severn, yes, Dan Severn's name, and then you hear about his opponent's name, Ken Shamrock, they have been involved, allegedly. Well, Severn has been obviously confirmed by many times of being in fixed fights. So when I hear Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock say, "Oh, well, we couldn't fight because we would have got fined, $100 a piece," I'm like, well, I watched the whole rest of that card, and there's probably about, $300,000 in uncollected fines. And on that same card, you've got Schultz, who you have said was paid $50,000, and these people all know each other. In my opinion, without hearing this prior, I was assuming that you got two pro wrestling types looking at each other going, this guy just got paid $50,000, which is probably more than they got, saying, I think we can get some more money out of these people. Let's concoct this story. I honestly had thought that fight was a work. That's my truth.
I got to tell you that it was not a work in the sense that it was set up by us as a promoter, but I'll tell you this. Severn is one of the nicest and smartest guys I ever did business with. He never fought for the crowd. He'll admit that to me. He'll admit that to others. He was not there to make the fans excited. Severn was a very smart guy who would always figure, what do I got to do to win? And not anymore. I personally think that he and Shamrock may have had maybe an unspoken understanding. And by the way, our pay-per-view numbers dropped because of that show and lasted for the next 2 or 3 years. Bob and I talked about the fact that one super fight was a hard blow. I personally think there was some sort of, I think that Severn was only going to do what he needed. And, Shamrock, I used to say, I never knew which Ken was going to show up. I used to call him Hamlet in tights. He was Hamlet in a red Speedo. I never knew which Ken Shamrock would show up. Because when Shamrock would show up and he really wanted to do something, look about the fact that he didn't want to be involved with Harold Howard. He walked away from $60,000. He and his father didn't talk for 3 months after that show. I know that from Bob Shamrock before he died.
Well, crazy. It's got work written all over, it really does.
I don't disagree with you.
And your opinion is that it was not a work.
Well, it was not a work in the sense that we as promoters set it up.
What is your opinion of those two? Do you think those two just kind of had
I think for that bout, I agree with you. I think it looks like a work, and if it smells like a duck, looks like a duck, and flies like a duck, it's a duck.